Hello, hello, hello. I think I'm live. Let me check briefly my Twitch and my YouTube. I think I should be live. My title says LC0 CPU is wrong. Again, that is the name of the show tonight. However, I want to start a little bit from the elephant in the room, which is of course the FIDE Chess. What's the name? Hold on. FIDEchess.com Online Nations Cup Round 1, which is currently in progress. So I appreciate anyone watching me instead of the main transmission from the tournament. So we're gonna talk about engines now, but since not immediately all people join my stream that wanna watch, so first I'm gonna address the tournament. So as you can see, there are 6 teams. One from China, Wang Hao, Wei Yi, Yu Yangyi, and Hou Yifan. I hope I'm pronouncing their names correctly. Really strong team, high favorite. USA has a very strong team, although there's no Wesley So. I'm not sure why not. Russia has strong team, but not the best. There's no Grishchuk and no Karyakin, I don't know. And Europe, Vashela Graf, Aronian, Duda, and Anna Muzichuk on women's board. So 3 male players and 1 female player. And that's those are the rules. And India, Anand, Vidit, Hare Krishna, and Konero, very strong team as well. So all extremely strong teams, except maybe the rest of the world is not that good. Rajabov, we can see him playing again. Firuzai is playing. He's really good in Blitz. He's not so good in Rapid as he is in Blitz. That's currently his game with Wei Yi at the moment. And Amin Bassem, my good friend from Egypt, and Maria Muzichuk, my good friend from my city Lviv. So this round is currently in progress. I think they have 2 rounds every day. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have 2 rounds today, and they're gonna go. I think 25 minutes plus 10 seconds is the time control. I'm not sure how they addressed the possible. Well, I don't suspect any of the players to be cheating, but nevertheless, even the thought that your opponent may cheat could really influence one's play. So I think it's really important to make sure that everybody follows the rules, and there's, well, at least the cheating is close to impossible. So that is going on. So China is beating so far the rest of the world. Europe made a draw with Russia. India, USA is a draw. What is going on in Caruana Vidit? Yeah, white would play for 50 more moves, because with 2 bishops, it could be a very long journey for Vidit to arrive to a draw. His rapid rating is only 26, 30. Wow, okay, he's much stronger than that. And Konero is beating Zatonsky, at least according to the. Oh my goodness, King G7. Queen G5 was winning apparently. King G7 is not winning, but the white's position looks dangerous anyway. So the game is still in progress. Thank you for tuning in. We are gonna talk about engines. Here you can see the game number 1 that I wanted to show you. So what is LC0 CPU? I'm not an expert from technical point of view on these engines. What machine, what power are they using, how exactly are they running, but the name stands for itself. LC0 is usually run on a video card, as far as I know, and LC0 CPU is running on, well, CPU, just like Stockfish. So I asked my good friend Valery, who's an expert in this field, and he explained me all the details. I understood some of them. And the bottom line is LC0 CPU is just a worse version of LC0 because it cannot run as efficiently on the processor as on video card. And Stockfish is still damn good on CPU. So I'm gonna click to the boards now. I'm gonna do this, and you can see the games. So LC0 CPU and Stockfish played a mini match at season 17 of TCEC Championship. It was in March this year, I think. I missed that one. I like it. So, and Stockfish was using the enormously strong computer, so it won the match quite confidently, although I found a few very interesting ideas that happened in the games. So we will check 7 games. Okay, that would be longer than I expected. Anyway, I hope you will enjoy what I have to say here. So let's dive in. So I chose all the games that ended with a win. By the way, oh my goodness, is it really 0 wins for LC0? I think LC0 didn't win a single game. I need to check that, but that looks devastating. Clearly, that's a more inferior version compared to the one that crushed Stockfish +5 in the actual TCEC Super Final. So what I found interesting about these games, they were given like one move and they were on their own. So LC0 was forced to play knight c3 and that's it. They are on their own. So here you can get a glimpse into what are the best moves according to the strongest engine you can have with Stockfish compared to LC0 CPU, but you don't have access to that kind of horsepower as it did. So for example, in this game, before playing d5, Stockfish played d5 on depth 38 and counted almost 17 billion positions before making actually the move. So it spent more than 2 minutes on a really powerful processors to play move d5. So this is like what should you do against d5. It says knight f6 and bishop f4, Jubawa's favorite opening, I think. e6. I always thought that a6 is better, stopping knight b5. Apparently I was wrong. e6 is good. Black doesn't mind the knight b5 move. The knight will get kicked away. So, and now it's time to develop pieces. Everybody's developing, just like you were taught when you were a child. And now knight h5. Very interesting decision by Stockfish. Usually white should cherish this bishop. There was only one correspondence game. White should cherish this bishop. That's why in London system they very often play h3. And now black immediately makes use of this. The bishop is now stuck. So the bishop is lost. c6 kicking out the knight. g6, not 100% certain why that move is required. I'm not so sure. But, well, okay, the h file is gonna open and maybe avoiding some attacks here. So g6 usually is a useful move. Bishop takes, pawn takes, castle c5. So black has 2 bishops but doubled pawns. The position is about to open up a little bit. And now rook e8. So what fascinated me was that this position, these 2 engines were evaluated completely different. So Stockfish was giving half a pawn advantage to white. My apologies, to black, and LC0 says I'm fine. So, and then LC0 proved that it's a good engine and managed to hold the draw and even play for a win for some time. So maneuvering the knight, knight went to e3, rooks to the center, queen to attack the weaknesses, rook d3, maybe doubling rooks, maybe rook is going to b3, a3 useful move. Well, the pawn is of course not a good snack. Queen d2, rook c3. Well, okay, there gets some shuffling of pieces. White needed to exchange some pieces because not so much space, not enough room for all the pieces in white's position. So actually now white was the one who plays for a win. White sacrificed the pawn to open the center to get to that potentially weak king. White is 1 pawn down, but d6 pawn is very dangerous. The knights are coming in. So here, white got to black's king, but this is still zeros from Stockfish. Stockfish is really good. It will not lose. When it comes to calculations, Stockfish is just amazing. And so it is zeros from both engines. Actually, LC0 prefers white, and the way it lost, it was just, my apologies, it was stupid. So white is just trying something, took the pawn. White has 4 pawns for the bishop, but the bishop is very strong, and those pawns are doubled, so you cannot really make any progress. So it's just moving back and forth. Black won back the d6 pawn, which was dead man walking anyway. So white is wasting time. So if I were white, I would probably also try to win, although I wouldn't play f3. Like f3, weakening this diagonal with this bishop alive, I wouldn't do it. But who am I to judge? I'm only I'm only human after all. Okay, so how did LC0 lose? It kept playing for a win, just like it happened to AlphaZero many years ago. It was playing for a win, and now it was like a ridiculous decision. And so here it decided, yeah, I'm gonna give up the pawn. It just gave up 2 pawns for the pawn on a6 and kept on playing as if everything is fine. It's not fine. Only black can win now. So, but from their both perspective, it's zeros. But from human point of view, now only black is playing for a win. And that's exactly what happened. At some point, LC0 blundered something. And since it was low on time, the time control was 2 hours plus 10 seconds only, which is not a very good time control for LC0. And that's why it lost the game. That's why it lost the game. Eventually, black's king escaped, and black is completely dominating on dark squares. King is escaping again, and no more checks, and the game, not yet. Okay, the game is over. The game was over. So, but now you know what to do against knight c3. You go d5, knight f6, e6, bishop e7, and immediately take that bishop if you can. Moving on to the next game. Next game, Stockfish LC0, Stockfish won, and they were forced to play this position or this one, I think. That was game number 14. Let me briefly check. Game number 14. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing for a second. Game number 14. This is 14 game. Yes, d4, b6. That's it. Now you go. Now you are on your own after this. So I really love the way Stockfish won this game. You can really learn a lot. First of all, what to do against b6. You go bishop d3. Okay, d6 is a silly move by LC0. Stockfish played e6 with colors reversed and managed to hold a very dangerous draw. Although LC0 in the future final showed what is the right way to play for white and then beat LC0 badly, beat Stockfish badly. So white got very good King's Indian. h4, great move, because now black's only plan is f5. After h4, h5, black has to go h5, and now f5 is a bad idea because g5 square is weak and black has zero counterplay. Now white moves the knight to weak square, castles, queenside plan is there, bishop here. White is better on both sides of the board. White is better on the queen side, white is better on the king side. That's what it is. Queen d2, maybe LC0 would blunder knight e6 check, knight g8, f4, white gets space. Now it's time to remove the queen because the mission completed, the knight is on g8. Takes, knight h7, horrible position from LC0. Now it's time to bring the big guns, which is the bishop going here. Slight improvement. Knight has nothing to do on c3, so knight is going to e3. Okay, now LC0 took because it was so dangerous. Now it's time to double rooks. Rook b1, brilliant move. Bishop does belong on this diagonal. How can you put it there? Rook b1, bishop goes to b2, queen d3, rook comes back to f1, a3. So black is technically 1 pawn up, but black has a horrible position. 2 bishops are monsters, white controls everything, and eventually Stockfish won. Which is funny because Stockfish was giving the correct evaluation far ahead. So evaluation by Stockfish of, for example, the position after bishop d4, is more than +3. So it calculates that's it, game over. At some point e5 is inevitable, b4, c5 is coming, and LC0 was still thinking that it's fine. It's not fine. The bishops are, white's pieces just walk in. Just push the pawns, prove the queen, prove the bishop, hide the king. g6 is hanging, yeah. All white's pieces just come in. This is queen h8, this is ridiculous. Okay, this is a nice... Okay, that's it. So that was a complete domination by Stockfish here. It all started with move number 4 by LC0, which was horrible. All right, moving on. It's not LC0, it's LC0 CPU. So AlphaZero was the monster. Current LC0 arguably is already stronger than the original AlphaZero, but this LC0 CPU, it would be, from my perspective as a player who uses LC0 in my analysis, I would really love LC0 CPU because all the chess players are buying the... Hello Valeria, I just saw your message. Oh, it was just right now. Okay, hi. I would love to have equally good LC0 to run on my processor because most of chess players bought expensive equipment with powerful processors, not video cards. Now you have to invest more money into video card. So I would love LC0 CPU to succeed. It's not happening at the moment. All right, so this game was a draw that I want to show you. This one, hold on. No, that's not it. I want to move my face. This was a draw. This game ended in a draw. But what I loved is this new idea by LC0. I never... So B3, another favorite line by Jobava. B3, E5, Bishop B2, Knight C6. So LC0 was on its own from move 0. E3, very typical. You can see Karyakin, Fedosseev, Nakamura, lots of people play. LC0 says D5, Bishop B5, and Knight G7. Bishop D6 is by far the main move, and white now can go F4, and you cannot take because G7 is hanging and it's too dangerous. And LC0 says, you can take my pawn. I saw this one game Artemiev Morozevich, so I was like, it immediately gives back the pawn. Okay, next time I see B3, that's definitely I'm doing this one for black. White has to take because otherwise A6 is the next move and like the whole setup doesn't make sense. Bishop takes the pawn, A6, white forced to take, and now white has two choices. Artemiev against Morozevich moved the bishop to G2, to B2. Unlike Stockfish did. I'm guessing the reason was queen G5 looks extraordinarily unpleasant right now. Let me check it with my very weak Stockfish. Why is it so slow? Oh my goodness, hold on. Don't look there. It's embarrassing. Hold on a sec. I think I analyzed briefly and it's queen G5. This is a great move for black to play. Okay, my Stockfish cannot handle this one. Yes, queen G5. Yes, queen G5. And there's no easy way to protect this one. And black has very strong initiative. Bishops get developed very quickly. Maybe castle long. Black has enormous compensation. But what do you do against bishop G3? LC0 gives you an answer here. You go H5. H4 is a huge threat, winning the bishop. White has to go H4, and it goes D4. It was amazing. Too bad this game didn't end in a win for black. This was game number 30. I'm gonna show you for a second. Game number 30. That's the one. That is the one. Yeah, and Stockfish agrees. Stockfish gives zeros already here. 0.2, and then LC0 plays all the moves. And Stockfish says, yep, you have enormous compensation. D4. Why D4? D4 is required because when you have two bishops, you need to open up the center. And D4 accomplishes exactly that because otherwise white would go D4 and block the center and two bishops wouldn't have diagonals. After D4, plenty of diagonals. I was very surprised with this move, bishop D6. I'm not sure if that was Stockfish's favorite. I honestly believe Stockfish a little better in this position. Yeah, both of them agree bishop D6 was a good move. That's a surprise. Usually you should cherish your two bishops, but this is apparently not the case. Bishop to D6, E takes D, takes, knight takes D4. Knight c3, castle short, giving another pawn on h5, but that bishop on long diagonal would be a monster. h4 pawn is loose, so white cannot castle. d3, check was coming, I'm guessing that was the problem. b5, king f1, f5. This is amazing. Like black says, I don't care about pawns, I castled. Your king is in trouble, I'm gonna get to you. 2 pawns down, I don't care, bishop is active. As I said in my previous streams, LC0 does not have bad pieces. almost never I could see LC0 saying, yeah, I want to keep that bad piece. It rather give a pawn or two, like in this case, to have all the pieces in the game. Rook is coming in, queen is coming in, keeping more pieces with knight e6, kicking this knight. Okay, here some exchanges happened. Black won an important pawn, and now transposed to an equal ending. Now black took back all the pawns, but white activated the rooks a little bit, and after a little bit of play, it was a draw. So rook endgames are draw, and that's it. That is it. Although from human point of view, black is playing for a win, but this is simple fortress. Simple fortress. Okay, this is some tactics. So next time you see b3, you should definitely try this one. You should definitely try e5, only bishop b2, only e3, d5, and knight g7, and your opponent would be like, what? And then you give up the pawn, and then you play very aggressive chess, and that would be easy to play for black. Next game. All right, how many do we have left? Oh, 4. Okay. This was game 32. Game 32. Quickly clicking on game 32. Let's see. d4, d5. That's it. LC0 was on its own and Stockfish was on its own after d4, d5. I find this one fascinating. d4, d5, go. Go. c4 is the best move. Knight c3, knight f6, c takes d, e takes d. Many games like this, many games like this. h6, I was wondering what LC0 would... usually they don't play h6 here because it gives white extra options, but well, who am I to judge? LC0. So this setup with knight on e2 is considered dangerous against queen's gambit declined because it gives white extra options. For example, f3, e4 or g4. And that's why knight bd7 or knight e8, castle. I think f3 was maybe... No, f3 is definitely a good alternative. And the idea is that this bishop can hide on f2 and black would not have enough room for all the pieces. But Stockfish plays this move and knight h5. I think that is the correct decision by LC0. You need to trade some pieces. So, and black is extremely solid. Extraordinary solid position for black, although removed a good bishop. Now it's time for black to get rid of this guy. So, and this is really important for queen's gambit declined. You need to get rid of that guy. So it gave check and repeated the position. Stockfish gave advantage to white. I don't know why it did this. It doesn't make any sense from human point of view. And LC0 says, yeah, I'll develop my pieces. So this is very typical plan. Black needs to get rid of this guy. It needs to go to f5. Knight is in the way, g6 needs support, and knight g7, knight f6. Black is spending all its time to put the bishop on f5, and very interesting decision by Stockfish here, maybe I would note it for myself, to give up the knight for that bishop. I always thought that it's better to have a knight, but this bishop on d3 is working in both directions. Interesting idea. So black is extraordinarily solid here, and both engines were not giving a big advantage to white. Let me see, Stockfish gives 0.4 and LC0 gives already zeros or something, 0.2. So small advantage for white, and it's very interesting how they both played it. So queen b2, very weird move, I don't understand this. Knight g4, rook e1, g3, king g2, slowly improving the position. Usually it's a pawn minority attack on the queen side, but black is fully ready to meet it, maybe with c5. So here's what Stockfish is doing. Rook to b1, queen to d2, there's nothing to do on b2. a4, knight c7. Why not b5 now? I really don't know. I would play b5 here if I were. There could be some problems on e3 square. So white improves the knight first. No, it doesn't. Okay, Stockfish didn't know what to do. So here LC0 showed how to hold these positions. Knight is usually really well placed here. It's ready to jump here and here. And well, put pressure on the b5 square. Rook e8. So white doesn't know what to do in this position. White doesn't know what to do. Well, you have to push b5 at some moment. And now LC0 plays this risky decision. So this, I'm questioning this decision. Maybe white was ready to push b5. I'm not so sure, but it seemed like white had so many options. b5 now. a5, knight went to c4. And now the only plan that white can possibly do in this position is f3, e4. Or f3, g4, but that's like... So I think you have to move the king to b3 and then focus on the king side. And the way LC0 lost this one, it gave like extra option for no reason. It gave this option and took with the pawn. I would never let that white have it. I would just move the knight to f6 and just wait and do nothing. And so I'm gonna check at which point did LC0 understand that it made a horrible mistake. Still 0.4, 0.8, that's too optimistic from Stockfish's point of view. Yeah, somewhere here. 0.8 was too optimistic. Yeah. Still nothing. Still nothing. Oh, that was a long game. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up quickly. So it gave white lots of opportunities. Nothing happening yet, but knight on c5 is amazing, and which is attacking here, and rook takes c4 is always in the air, this sacrifice. So, but still, how can white win? White needs to break through somehow. Yes, f3, of course. f3, white opens up the position, starts pushing, and now black has a terrible position. This is just terrible. At some point, I think exchange sacrifice. Ah, knight to b2, transposing to rook ending. Very interesting. And now white's plan would be to do something like this and move the king inside the position. Let's see, is it already a huge advantage? Yeah, Stockfish already more than +3 here. It gives decisive advantage for black. Rook f2, f2. I'm guessing rook is going to d2, maybe rook to c3, and then king is walking in. This is weak, that is weak. e6 is always in the air, and that was it. Strategical masterpiece by Stockfish. White's pieces just walked into black's position. So, but I think LC0 did b5 was wrong, and letting white take on e4 was wrong in my estimate. Next game. What was going on here? Yeah, this is the one I put on my Facebook page. You're welcome to follow me on Facebook, by the way. Oh, just saw the message from Valerie. Not only LC0 hindered in terms of calculating power, but it also they're using experimental, less experienced network. Okay, yeah, because yeah, I felt this is not an actual strength of LC0. So bishop to c4 and king e8 or bishop e6 are the main moves for black here. But bishop b4 played by LC0, white takes the pawn, and now it's very interesting because on one hand black has an isolated pawn, but white has doubled pawns. And here I love the way Stockfish played this one. So check every single move from white. Improving the rook. Well, bishop on f7 would be kicked away anyway. h4. h5, getting some space on the king side. Why not? Improving the knight. Improving the rook. Improving the king. With every move white makes a little bit of improvement. Rook h8, have no idea what that's for. Takes, knight to e4, knight goes to a nice outpost. Bishop e7, c4, if you have one bishop, you should put all your pawns on the opposite color, and f3 would follow soon, I think. a4, rook to h1, g3, king f5, takes. This one, I love this one. This is like a very nice move to play. Rook e4. That looks amazing to me. Rook e4, come on, take my rook. You can take my rook, come on. Well, small exercise, what's gonna happen if black takes? If black takes, it's g4 with literally mate on next move. Very nice picture. So black cannot take, so white kicks the king, improves the rook, f4, getting more space, kicking the king, king c6, bishop d2, rook d8, bishop c3, now putting pressure on this pawn. So this is not yet lost according to Stockfish. This is game 34. No, 34, yes. game 34. But with every move, white is making little progress. And wait a second. Yeah, the moment white played bishop to c3, this is move 31. 31. Evaluation of Stockfish is still +1, which is still okay for black, I would say. There's only one weakness on e5 that black can hold. And now here comes a very bad decision from... So white doesn't really know what to do. White is doing this moves. Black should just wait and do nothing. And a5, horrible decision by LC0. Horrible. You should not do that one. If I could talk to LC0 CPU, I would say, you're not supposed to put pawns on the color of your bishop. That's the rule. That weakens white squares. And a5, and immediately after that, Stockfish calculated that it is completely winning position for white. And the reason being that now either the rook would come to b5, or black would have to go c6, and then b6 pawn would become weak. White's bishop is being moved to a3, rook is going to b5, or d3, I don't think it matters. Bishop is going to a3, rook e3, now king is coming, now rook is coming. All the pieces walk in. If the pawn was on a6, b5 would be a counterplay for black, and b5 square would not be a problem. So for example, yeah, rook b3 wouldn't be a threat of rook b5 with the pawn on a6. And just because of that, black lost. Imagine the pawn on a6 in this position. The same position, the pawn is on a6. What do I do? I don't know. But here, rook comes to b5, c5, more weaknesses, 1, 2, 3. There's no way black's gonna hold this one. White is slowly improving the position, and game is over. All right. One more. LC0 with white. LC0 with white. What was going on here? What was going on? A3. It was forced to play a3. This is very interesting to me to see what Stockfish thinks is the best play for black on a3. e5, c4. Sometimes white plays this with c4 move, and d6 played by Stockfish. e3, g6, bishop g7, and it says I have very good kings India. And it's correct. I don't know what is the correct move on d6 here. What did people do? Any strong players? Sebastian Mazet played knight c3, g3, bishop g2, yeah. No, not too many people played d6 in this position. Not Dominguez, Sevian, Ovanesyan, Kovalenko, nobody played d6 here. Stockfish at enormous depths calculated, yeah, it's better to go d6. The point being is g6, I think, is met with d4 in many lines. So it's d6 first. And now black is developing. f5, getting more center, develop the knight. This is like amazing dodge for black. Black saved a bunch of tempos because the pawns are already here. The bishop is good, black has more space. Moving the bishop, a5, undermining the chain. Castle, moves the rook. h5, knight c6. Since black dominates in the center, black can afford to go h5. Queen connecting the rooks. Queen e7, not so sure. Knight back, there's nothing to do on c6, so knight is going into a long journey, something like this. Stockfish changed its mind. Okay, kicking the knight, taking control, king h7, g5, and black says, I'm gonna attack your king. There's nothing happening on the queen side. And that's it. Basically, that's it, because white is after this move, h4, which is brilliant, by the way. Sorry if my camera is shaking, I'm using keyboard. After this move, black is strategically winning. There's nothing happening on the queen side, it's fully blocked. Black dominates on the king side, there's a connected passed pawn, this weak pawn here, weak square here. Black would slowly move all the pieces to the king side and win. Knight goes to h5, bishop goes to a better place, there's nothing to do on f7. This is being improved, bishop being improved. Another bishop is improved. Knight is going to attack the weakness. Knight arrived. A6, black says it's fine, you can take that pawn. Rook goes to the king side, takes. Rook comes back. This is, by the way, amazing play from Stockfish. LC0 doesn't understand. I'm very surprised because LC0 CPU, normal LC0 would understand this. White is pawn up. The pawn is basically a queen, but white cannot make progress on the queen side. However, black can do that on the king side. Bishop goes back to e8. Bishop to h8 to free. Okay, so white repeated a little bit. Queen d7, queen c7, queen e7. Okay, what is Stockfish doing now? I don't follow. Oh, is it still zeros? Really? Wait a second. I thought that black was better all the time in this game. Okay, it was giving minus 0.7 to black, but it didn't know what to do. So how did LC0 lose this one? I thought it was a one-way street. Oh, what happened here? I guess this was a... did it blunder? Really? Oh, that would be embarrassing. Hold on a second. At which moment... Yeah, already minus 2 for black. That's it. So it just, I don't know why would, there must have been a way to avoid this one. Why would you allow this? I wouldn't allow this if I were white. There must have been a way, and Stockfish outcalculated. Just started. Knight came in, pawn what was pushed, king is improved, pawn is coming, the bishop, and white is simply lost here. And well, another one that's embarrassing, this one, it was forced to play g4. It was forced to play g4, and they said, that's it, now you're on your own. Okay, to be honest, LC0 win with black. I didn't copy that game, I didn't find it too fascinating. LC0 win a game with black against g4. This is like, do you know, by the way, what is the worst move in the starting position? It was... at one point, I wanted to see, so I ran my Stockfish, and I moved the number of lines to 20, because there are 20 legal starting moves in the position. Hold on a second. I hope my computer will not collapse. There are 20 legal moves, 16 with pawns, 4 with knights. What is the worst move in the starting position? Check it out. The worst move in the starting position is g4. Next one is f3. Knight a3 is very horrible. Knight h3, b4. So g4 is like this. You cannot think of a worse move in the starting position than g4. Okay. Which I find very funny. Don't play g4. Please don't do it. So, but some people do. I have a very funny story about Azmai Parashvili. He beat me twice. Some years ago, I was playing maybe even on ICC, a Blitz game, and I meet Azmai Parashvili. And he's really good in Blitz, still. And he plays only g4 with white. So he played g4 against me, and I was very pissed because like this is like horrible. And I wanted to prove him wrong, but he has enormous experience in this line, in Blitz. I couldn't prove him wrong, and I lost the game. I was so devastated. I lost after g4. That is embarrassing. So what I did, I analyzed. I took Stockfish, and I said d5 is the best move. Bishop g4 takes c4, and I think the move I analyzed was e6. And if queen b3, I think it's knight c6 is the correct move. I think I analyzed something like this. I don't remember it. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say this one, but it's too late. I already said it. So I analyzed, because I was so pissed that I lost against g4. And I did analyze g4 for black, and I got to minus over plus evaluation. And I forgot about that. And some months or years later, I meet Azmai Parashvili again, and again, he plays g4 against me. And I'm like, what are the chances of that? And I do play my d5. I take that pawn. I play I played e6 and knight c6. I got him. I got big advantage with black. My preparation worked. But he's a stronger player in Blitz. and then I couldn't convert my advantage. Then the position was equal, and then I kept on playing for a win because I was so eager to win, and I lost again. So my score against 1g4 is 0 out of 2. Whoopsie. So this is how you beat this line. You go c6, queen b3, and you go e6. That's Stockfish's recipe. Because in the opposite game, Stockfish played e3 here to protect the pawn, which is of course bad, and it lost anyway. Usually people do this. And you give up that pawn, and you say, I have huge development, you're in big trouble. Knight c3, knight e7 protecting the pawn, takes, d4, rook b8 kicking the queen. Why not taking the pawn? The queen must be trapped somehow. Wait a second. How do we trap that queen? I don't see it. It must be trapped. Rook a8, queen goes here. Knight b6 maybe, and bishop c8. That looks like a win. Yeah, backward diagonal move. So that pawn is poisoned. The rook has to go, attack again going here. Can the queen be trapped? Knight c8, yeah, knight c8, queen a4, rook b4 takes, knight e7. No, it's not trapped. How do we trap the queen after queen a7? I don't see how to trap that queen. Okay, maybe I'm tired. I don't know. There must be a very simple way to get big advantage. Otherwise LC0 would take it. Anyway, let me know in the comments on my YouTube channel if you find it. Queen d3, knight goes to g6, bishop, develop the bishop, h4, h6, and now white's king is in constant trouble. There is no safe place to go. Castle, and black's king is perfectly safe there. Open the center to get to the king. Queen is coming in, the rook is coming in. I don't need that pawn, I need initiative. Rook goes to e6 in front of the king. Another rook is coming, now knight is coming, now bishop is coming, rook is coming, all pieces go forward. Rook is coming, like queen, this is like all pieces walk in white's position. Takes, and it's time to collect material, and the rest is not interesting. Okay, maybe from human point of view it's still playable, but from engine point of view this is a completely lost position. Let me compare, let me see if I'm wrong, if I'm right. Let's see. When did... Yeah, -4 already from Stockfish. Yeah, -4. Okay, that would conclude my stream about LC0 CPU. I hope it becomes better, although I have serious doubts about that. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about tactics, check the description of my YouTube video. There's a tactics course that I made for Udemy. By the way, it's the highest rated course on chess on the whole Udemy. And if you want to work better on your chess, you're welcome to join my Saturday online training session, 2.5-hour training session. You can find out more in the description of the video. If you're watching on Twitch, that one person currently, check out my YouTube channel. Although I need to make sure that they are connected together. I don't think I have a link to my channel on Twitch. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Maybe quick update on what is going on here. Quick update. Can you see this? Yes, you should be seeing. So Europe made a draw with Russia, India made a draw with USA, and China beat the rest of the world. And round number 2 would start soon. Nakamura is playing. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. Take good care. Stay home. Stay safe. Subscribe to my channel. Like the video. Ring the bell. Blah, blah, blah. You know what to do. Take care. Goodbye.